Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the biggest horror releases of this year. I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Yes, the Fisherman's hook has returned and the nostalgia is through the roof. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I did go into this one with pretty low to medium expectations because this is one of those franchises that I personally feel only ever got it right with the very first movie. I didn't feel that it needed sequels. However, here we are, and I was always willing to keep an open mind with this one. There are a load of mixed feelings in this entry and I'm going to delve into all of it, so be massively prepared for spoilers. For anyone that needs a refresher, the original I Know What You Did Last Summer hit theatres back in 1997. It became a cult classic with its own glossy teen horror style and that iconic Fisherman's killer. We had sequels and spin-offs, and now in 2025 we've got a legacy sequel, very much in the same way of Halloween 2018 or Scream 5, the way they brought back some older characters while passing the torch to a new generation. This one is directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, who gives the franchise a slick modern polish. Some of the cast includes Madeline Klein, Chase Wonders, Jonah King, and we've got a return of Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., who return as Julie James and Ray. So right away, that blend of fresh blood and familiar faces did have me hooked when I first saw the trailer, and I was a little bit excited. Now I'm going to start with the good because there is plenty of it. Now first off, the atmosphere is fantastic. The movie takes us back to that coastal setting, but this time it feels a bit more moodier, drenched in fog with neon lighting cutting through the night. Some of the kills are genuinely creative. There's a few involving a spear gun and another inside a fish processing plant that involved a load of guts and intestines. Now these aren't just gore for gore's sake moments in my opinion. I felt like that this was staged like little set pieces and they really did stand out. I feel that the new cast absolutely holds their own. You've got Chase Sui Wonders playing Ava. Now she is incredible. She's not just a scream queen, she's tough, layered and believable as a survivor. Now Madeline Klein brings a lot of guilt and paranoia to her role, and Jonah King adds emotional weight that keeps the story grounded. Unlike some of the other slashers out there where you just wait for everyone to be picked off one by one, I did actually find myself caring about who's in danger. And I'll be honest with you guys, in the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, I actually didn't care that much for most of those characters. So kudos for this movie for making me actually give a shit. And then of course the legacy characters. Seeing Jennifer Love Hewitt return as Julie was honestly goosebumps territory. She's older, she's wiser, but she's still visibly haunted by everything that's happened to her over the years. She feels like a natural evolution of her character. And of course Freddie Prinze Jr. as Ray, he looks rougher around the edges and he brings that same charm. Having them both back gives the film legitimacy, at least it does in my opinion. My only gripe about their returns is that we do not get to see enough of them. Maybe not so much with Ray's character, but definitely Julie, we did not get enough of her in this movie, which I feel has probably pissed off a lot of the die-hard fans of these movies. Now stylistically, this movie does feel very modern, but it doesn't forget where it came from. There are visual nods to the old films, and even the soundtrack sneaks in like this sort of like creepy reimaginings of the late 90s songs, which I thought was actually a clever touch. For most of the runtime, I was really into this story. The suspense works, the film plays with misdirection nicely, setting up different scenarios and different suspects and keeping you guessing about who the killer is. Stevie in particular seemed like she might be the one behind the mask, and I was totally on board with that possibility. It had the energy of, classic slasher whodunit, and I was ready for a reveal that would pull off those threads together. The only issue with this though, I found that Stevie the killer reveal very, very predictable. I kind of guessed very early on in the film that she was going to be the killer, or at least one of the killers. Because there are indeed 2 killers in this movie, and the other killer turns out to be Ray. Yes, our Ray. He is all part of it. He's revealed as an accomplice in the murders, and I've got to be honest, this is where the movie just loses me. Ray's whole U-turn just doesn't work for me because it comes completely out of nowhere. I mean, throughout the film, he's set up as this protective, supportive, still in love with Julie person, and even somewhat of a guide to the new generation, a little bit like Dewey in Scream 5. Then suddenly he's this villain. It felt like such a whiplash. I mean, there weren't enough breadcrumbs to make this twist satisfying. I mean, with a great horror twist, you should be able to rewatch and see the signs that, you know, oh shit, they were there all along, staring you in the face. I mean, think about Billy Loomis in Scream. On a rewatch, you notice those little looks, those odd comments, and the slight inconsistencies, but here with Ray, there's nothing. It's just boom, he's the killer. And that's not the only problem. We never get the confrontation that we deserved between him and Julie. I mean, Julie facing off against Ray should have been the emotional, huge climax of the film. These 2 characters have a massive history that stretches back nearly 3 decades. That moment could have been and should have been heartbreaking, iconic even. Instead, it is actually Ava who ends up killing Ray with a spear gun. Don't get me wrong, Ava's moment is powerful, but it comes at the cost of Julie's emotional payoff. It was over way too quickly in my opinion. Julie is sidelined in what should have been her story's most dramatic moment ever. Then of course there's the question of Ray's motivation, because supposedly Ray's actions are not only tied to Stevie, but it's basically all to do with vengeance due to the cops and the people in charge of the town trying to delete the history of the Fisherman killer. Like, what? That makes no sense. Let's just remember here, Ray is one of those original heroes in the first 2 movies. I mean, why would he suddenly just change like that? The script doesn't give him enough depth to justify why he would make this drastic U-turn. It's not that Ray couldn't have been the killer and that it couldn't have worked. It's just that the groundwork was never laid properly. Instead of being devastating, it just felt random and all done for shock value that did not land well with me. I kept thinking about how it could have been better if Ray really was going to be the killer. The movie needed to plant some seeds earlier, as I was discussing. I mean, maybe show him slipping up, making darker comments, and making the viewer think, oh shit, could Ray be in on this? Give us a reason to doubt him before the reveal. And as I said, I mean, that showdown between him and Julie should have been the heart of the climax. I mean, Ava can still get her victory moment, but Julie deserved that emotional confrontation. And of course, tying Stevie's arc more tightly to Ray would have made the whole twist more stronger. Right now, it just feels like 2 separate ideas that were jammed together, and I found that whole third act extremely underwhelming and very disappointing. Towards the end of the film, we get Ava killing Ray, but you know, the ending after the credits roll does hint that, you know, they're not really done with the town's secrets, and clearly this is leaving the door open for another sequel if this movie performs well. And honestly, I would still go and watch it. I mean, I enjoyed enough of this film to come back for more, but I just really hope that they take their time with the next script and lean harder into character-driven storytelling, rather than trying to shock us with twists that don't feel earned. Just take your time with the next one, if there is going to be another sequel. So this is where I stand with this film. It is a fun, stylish slasher that balances nostalgia with fresh energy. Some of the kills are great, the cast is strong, and the direction is sharp in certain places, but it all fumbles towards the end. That killer reveal undermines so much of the build-up and leaves the film leaving like it pulled the rug out just for the sake of it, and it also kind of disrespects the first 2 movies making Ray the killer, in my opinion. So for that reason, I am going to give this movie a 5.7 out of 10. I mean, it is entertaining, it's worth watching, guys, go and watch it, but it could have been so much more if the final had stuck with the landing. Alright then, guys, so that is all of my thoughts on my review on this movie. What did you guys think of this movie and that killer reveal? Did it shock you in a good way, or did you feel that it was all out of place, just as, you know, as I was thinking? Drop all of your thoughts in the comments box below, because I really want to hear different perspectives on this one, and I just love reading all of your lovely comments. So anyway guys, that is a wrap. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more horror movie content, and I will catch you all in the next video. But until then, watch your backs, because somebody always knows what you did last summer.